relates to the panel, because you did talk about the spin-off today, and what will it be again?
Well, it's inspired. It's homage. The spin-off is already been confirmed by HBO, and it is Better Call Davos. Next. What are you going to put behind me? Herds of wildebeest?
Just you over and over and over.
Thousands of me. God, that's the way I like it. Feed my ego. Despite being the most rational and morally level character on the show, Davos Seaworth will make it out alive in the end. Okay, here's the real deal in this puppy. As we speak, at this moment in time, the bastards at HBO have not sent me the scripts for the final season. They promised me the scripts early this week, but they haven't sent them.
Was it a functioning device?
Could it actually dragon?
Well, I know there wasn't a dragon to shoot there except for a big green thing, but did you actually, could it have worked, and did you actually get a chance to shoot it? Or was it just a...
It worked. Those guys, the Armory guys are incredible, and they created a real, dragon Gatling gun. It's the biggest weapon I've ever had to handle, said the actress. But, thank you.
Did the funky chicken in her audition for
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia. Sophie.
Emilia.
All right.
Yeah.
Like Maisie.
Emilia.
Emilia,
Right?
no way.
She just hopped up on Diet Coke and did the funky chicken.
Emilia? I can't imagine Emilia Carice doing the funky chicken.
It's her signature dance move.
I love
Have you
that.
seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
I've seen a live reenactment of that too. And
Oh, really?
And it's as good as you would think.
Gwen, I'm going to start with you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Hall H.
Okay, we have seen Tormund make a play for Brienne. Yeah, I actually have a theory that I think Brienne and Hodor would make a really good couple.
I've always held a candle for that.
Had no idea his name was Christopher until age 11.
Oh, I know who that is. Kit.
Yes. Kit Harington. Yes.
Kit.
Yes.
Well, that's going to be someone called Christopher. So is that Christopher Hilvelu?
No.
Oh. Oh, no, that's Kit.
Oh, I don't know.
What? Yeah.
I wrote it down on a school exam, and they went, "No, your name's Christopher." And I didn't know how to spell it, so I got put in the bottom set of school.
So you can sort of relate to Jon Snow not knowing everything about himself.
Yeah, on a small level. I at least knew who my mum was. Though.
You know who your parents are.
But yeah, I think.
Was it love at first sight?
Listen, it was more than that, because ever since I was like 8 years old and I saw it on the TV, and I was like, "Mommy, I want that one." I'm like, I'm gonna stalk you for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna get you.
Oh, did you? Was there stalking
a
involved?
full-fledged stalker.
Really?
I didn't tell her that. till
No,
we
that's
had
wise.
two babies.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be creepy.
Yeah.
Be creepy and weird. And
Yeah.
no.
It's never a great in with a lady. I've been stalking you.
You looked also amazing at the Game of Thrones premiere, and that's not just because you brought your really attractive boyfriend with you.
He's a good accessory.
Definitely. I've got to know, is Joe rooting for Sansa to end up on the Iron Throne?
I don't know. We don't talk about it.
We love...
Blush.
Are you blushing?
Oh, God. Yeah, or I'm sweaty. I can't tell.
Sophie, you look a little smitten right now.
I don't know. I'm smitten with Maisie.
I'm smitten with Maisie, too.
She's my wife.
I actually had dreaded my hair almost for her. I had huge dreadlocks, and she had dreadlocks, and I literally turn around, I'm with my best friend, and I see her, and I'm just like, she goes, I'm Lisa, and I'm like,
it works.
Yes. And I'm just like, I turn around to my friend, I'm just like, I have fireworks going off inside, man.
I want those kids to be happy. I want them to find happiness with each other. Everything's so sad.
It's never going to happen, man. Nothing's ever going to be happy. You know that, don't you? Seriously. But do you think Daenerys would approve of that relationship?
Yeah. I mean, she'd do the wedding. Well, you don't call a wedding, do you? It's not bingo. But I think she'd be involved.
Yeah. Awesome.
Not involved, just...
Oh, okay.
After their ruse with Littlefinger, Sansa and Arya will continue to have Ocean's 11-style capers to punish Westeros' slimiest characters. Let me throw something out here, people. There's a lot of young ladies I speak to, and when I say, what do you think of the ladies? And I go, oh, Arya, Maisie Williams' character is like, she's such a great role model. And I go, yeah, okay, let me stop you there. She's a serial killer, and a lot of young ladies are using her as a role model. In 5-10 years' time, let's not examine where that might go.
It's such a loaded thing for these two people to meet. You know, two people in the audience have been following their separate stories for such a long time.
What? I don't know who Jon Snow is. No one's been chatting about him. King in the what? No, that's not how this goes.
I loved that scene. I loved doing it. I loved it on paper. It had a comedic quality to it. You know, he walks in, him and Davos walk in with no entourage.
Rightful heir to the Iron Throne. Rightful Queen of the Andals and the First Men. Protector of the Seven Kingdoms. The Mother of Dragons. The Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea. The Unburnt. The Breaker of Chains.
And then he's announced, and they haven't even really decided what he's called yet.
This is Jon Snow.
New York, I'd love to. Just show me the part.
Can we bring up the fact that you were, what she's talking about is you were a pop sensation in Europe. And a lot of people in America don't really know that.
Yeah, well, it's best kept that way, I think.
Sing us a song.
Well, hell, it'll be a lot more money, sir.
Played soccer with his fake decapitated head from the show.
Oh, now I do know. That was Sean Bean, wasn't it? Yeah.
Must be Sean Bean.
Sean Bean?
Sean. There you go.
Gotta be. All the clues are there for that.
Oh,
At the very beginning.
didn't watch the first season.
Alfie. Oh, not his head.
His head?
Oh.
No, the other head.
Oh.
The head up
Oh,
here.
no, not that head. I remember he chopped off someone's head and he kicked it like a football. I didn't go dirty. She went dirty. Let's be very clear about that.
I was just wondering, I know that you're like Jamie's best friend and all, but when it comes to incestual
really?
couples, are you like a John and
I think his sister's his best friend.
When it comes to incestual couples, are you like a John and Daenerys, or are you still like Team Jamie and Cersei for life?
Okay, you're going to have to say that again because I didn't quite get that.
Couples of incest?
Yes.
Who's your favorite? John or Daenerys? Or Jamie and Cersei?
Incest or interest?
I guess both.
John and Daenerys. Oh, well, John and Daenerys. Dear. It's not something I think about a lot. Well, I can't say I don't think about Daenerys, but John and Daenerys, I think, well, if I was John, you know, and I would... We better take another question.
So tell me.
It talks, it speaks.
Dragons, direwolves, and three-eyed ravens cannot save you. So are you looking forward to rising again as the children of the cold?
Is that a mic drop?
I didn't hear.
Nobody knows what you said, dude.
Can we talk about the fact that Maisie is joining the Marvelverse just like you?
If we don't get a crossover on Game of Thrones, we're getting one on X-Men.
To step out of character for a second.
First time we've heard the Night King speech. Speak.
Are you looking forward to rising again as the children of the cold?
That's a great question.
We don't have much choice in the matter, do we?
Absolutely not.
I didn't realize the Night King was Californian.
Hey, I'm from Philadelphia.
Sorry. It's the makeup made you sound like you were from the valley. Okay, next one. As the three-eyed raven, Bran will realize that there never would have been a War of the Five Kings had he just listened to his mom and stopped climbing things. That's like episode 1. That's 8 years ago. You got to deal with the hand that you're dealt. Yeah, he should have just listened to his mom. So should I. Should have stayed an electrician.
This is a very important question. Do you miss me?
No. Yeah, of course I do. No, it's been so empty without you on set this year.
Such a liar.
One of my favourite scenes, which was where was last season, 2 seasons ago, when I reunited with Pod, and I came up behind him and strangled him. And we did it a couple of times, and then the director said, "Okay, I got it. Now do one more and enjoy yourself." And that's when I grabbed him by the balls. And I tell you, man, it was worth it just for the look on his face. And if you watch that scene, you'll see the look on his face. He's trying to keep it together. He's like, did he really do that?
Come on. You're the one with the magic cook. You must have shown it to her by now.
So that was a bit of ad lib, which he didn't know was coming. But that was very Bronn. See, that's what Bronn, it was, I was just letting myself go with the character. Yeah, so stuff like that's fun. Not that I grab balls all the time.
If you ended up on the Iron Throne, what would be the first law you would pass?
I would say the brotherhood that Beric Dondarrion is part of be made allowed throughout the land, so everyone can come back to life.
That works for me. Conrad.
That Comic-Cons are free.
Adopted the dog who played her direwolf on the show. Yes.
Sophie Turner.
That's Sophie. Oh, that's Sophie.
Gemma?
Sophie.
Sophie.
Yeah.
Sophie.
Nice, you're doing really well.
I've obviously got too much free time.
I love her. She's so sweet. She's getting old now. I know. She wasn't a very good actress, so they gave her to me. God, this is really tough. The first thing that comes to mind is just like unlimited carbohydrates. I don't know why, but that's what I want.
Fair enough.
I think in selected outlets all over Westeros, there should be free Dornish wine for all the inhabitants of Westeros. Yeah. You're welcome.
Ed got a little bit of backlash from the fans on Twitter for appearing on Game of Thrones. What do you have to say about that?
He did? I thought he killed it. Ed Sheeran is a hero. No one slay Ed Sheeran. That's rude.
How about maesters have to clean out their own stinking bedpan? Number 1.
All these questions have been about the show. I wanted to know if you were a fan of the books. Have you read the books?
No.
I would make it illegal for one person to mount another and be carried.
I'm glad you finished that sentence.
Yeah. And every time you have to say thank you, which you never did. It's not true. It's not true. Yeah, okay, it is.
So obviously the character of Bronn was perfectly cast. I don't think anyone could see that differently. But if you wanted to play in a different universe, a different character on Game of Thrones, what character would that be?
I haven't found myself wanting that, but I mean, from a gross point of view, possibly Jon Snow. Just I can't think why, but
Varys is rarely rattled. What do you think scares him?
I think the economic outlook. Something, whatever that sorcerer said. We saw him with the Red Priestess, where it was one of the few times where he looked a bit, what?
because she was cray. But yeah, I think that's you know, he survived so much, but that's the one thing we don't know what was said. And because of your experience with, you know, words and hold the door and everything, I think, oh God, I'm going to be holding a door for someone. And that's what the sorcerer said. So that's the only thing I'm kind of, you know, there's some mystery there that I still don't know what that's about, what was said and what it means.
Well, my advice when it comes to holding doors is don't.
Or, or get a swing door or something.
And the books as well, if you've read them.
Sure.
You know, I think everyone sort of has this, you know, I'm probably gonna die soon. Do you know what I mean? Like and I think that I had that too from the beginning.
Right.
And the fact that, you know, we've got season 7 coming out is sort of insane, and I'm still there. It's like, okay, no one's noticed I'm here, so maybe they'll like go, oh yeah, she's here, we should kill her. No, I'm joking.
At the end of last season, Davos found out about I can't even read this. I really need to wear my glasses. Melisandre's part in Shireen's death. Jon Snow banished her from the north, and Davos said he would kill her if she ever returned. Do you think he would? And does he have it in him to murder someone in cold blood?
I think that's a good question. I don't think he's the vindictive type. I think if he was on the road, taking a long weekend somewhere, and in the opposite direction, he saw a lady in a red cape approaching, I think there's a good chance he'd whip out a Glock and pop a couple of caps in her ass. But I don't think he'd hunt her down. I don't think he'd do an Arya. I don't think he's got a list. But I definitely think he'd put her in a shallow grave somewhere if no one was going to find out.
God.
But that's just me.
Can you just quickly show us how you'd hold a Glock?
Yeah, I had a sideways, man, like in a hood.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We at ET have a brand new Game of Thrones after show called Westeros Weekly, and we have a running segment called the Stark Sister Update.
No way.
Where each week we give an update, have they seen each other? And then we just say,
No.
No.
That's amazing. I like that.
Can you give us a Stark Sister Update?
No. I mean, it would be amazing if they were to cross over at some point, but I think we have more chance in the Marvel Universe than in Game of Thrones, because we're not about happy endings on Game of Thrones.
Gwendolyn, if there were one character, Hodor, that you wish hadn't been killed, Hodor, who would it be, Hodor?
Well, I mean, there's two people, obviously. One is someone who was a magnificent presence in the series, who happens to be hosting this panel. Woo. And also Catelyn Stark.
Yeah.
Fake answer, real answer.
At the end of last season, Melisandre was cast out from Winterfell. Do you think it was a just decision? I mean, didn't she redeem herself by resurrecting Jon Snow?
Well, that was a good thing to do, but I get it, you know. I get that I needed to back off a little bit.
Yeah, she had to give one back because she took one away. Mm-hmm. However, it was my little girl, my little adopted daughter, Shireen, and where we found it, because it was a fantastic scene, I think, that we did that confrontation, because I think the audience were waiting for the entire season for the confrontation. And
it's a shame though, because it might have been helpful for me to stay.
Oh dear, this might have been helpful. You might have been dead if Jon Snow wasn't in the room.
Catelyn, and you.
Oh, you have to say that. Don't say that.
Okay, not you.
Is a successful DJ, performs all over the world, doing club nights called Rave
Christian.
of Thrones. Yes.
Easy, Christian.
That would be Christian then.
Oh, that's Christian.
Both of these actresses have played Sarah Connor of The Terminator.
Emilia, Clarke, and Lena Headey.
Emilia, Clarke, and Lena Headey.
Lena and Emilia. That's Emilia and Lena.
You're really good at this.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I watched Lena and was a huge fan, and then obviously I know what my homegirl's doing.
I just really loved working with Jack Gleeson so much that I have to say Joffrey. He was so fun to hate.
Wow. He was such a good husband. Very generous man.
That's
Yeah, I have no choice. I have to say, my baby girl, Shireen. That still hurts. Big time.
His pop star real-life sister once said she turned down the role of his sister on the show because she had to do something weird with his crotch.
That'll be Alfie. Alfie.
Good one, you got it.
Oh, that's not Alfie Allen, is it?
No way.
Lily came on the show. That's so crazy.
She turned down the role of playing his sister on the show.
She was lying, but it's Lily Allen.
That's a complete lie.
I'm glad we can finally set the record straight on that. Pop star real-life sister said she turned down the role. That's like a drop of the mic.
Yeah, two answers again. First and foremost, the legitimate answer is Robb Stark. And the second answer is, if there's one character that I wish they hadn't killed, it'd be Jon Snow, just to save us having to talk about it every 5 minutes for a year.
That whole year was pretty bad.
That was a pretty crummy year.
That was pretty rough.
The only original cast member still on the show who didn't have to audition.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter.
You know it. Good for you.
Daenerys.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, you're doing so well.
Oh, yeah, original.
England?
Peter.
Of course. Oh, man, that's so obvious. You caught me there.
Some of you out there may know Jacob is also a very talented musician.
Woo! Oh, thank you.
How do you balance both sides of your career?
I kind of don't. I'm really lucky that I've got the way we shoot the show is kind of over a period of, I don't know why I'm telling you this. The way we shoot the show is it's like 6 months and then we're all kind of in and out, kind of revolving doors. Sorry, when was that? Trigger. So I just, whenever I'm not in Belfast or a sunny place,
just rub it in, man.
Just yeah.
Rub it in. You talk about doors. You're talking about the sunshine.
Write songs. Yeah, it's not been too bad actually. It's not been hard.
Yeah.
I mean, my life could be worse.
Yeah, I mean, I
Sorry,
can relate to
I'm
it
really
as well.
nervous. By the way, this is like I'm at home here, but for some reason I feel really nervous.
Why don't you give us a rendition of your song?
What song do you want to hear?
That one.
Oh, not one of my songs. You want to hear one of my songs? We'll sing
yeah. I thought it might calm your nerves.
Okay. Calm your nerves. Calm your nerves.
Beautiful.
Everything. Is that you shutting me up?
Yeah.
It was about to get really, really exciting.
So before I let you go, what are you looking forward to seeing here at Comic-Con?
I still haven't bought my mask. I can tell you now. I did Instagram when I left here last year. I walked around like an idiot with a Deadpool mask on, sweating a lot. So I have to acquire something with air conditioning, and I might have a little walk around. My daughter is heartbroken. This is my 3rd year in a row here, and she couldn't come this year. She hates me.
Anyway, Isaac, yeah, you be very careful.
Be very
Jay.
Shut up.
Yeah, actually, some of the direwolf. I bring back Hodor.
I don't even like the direwolf.
The series will end with a narration by Samuel Tarly, now keeper of Westerosi history and aged to resemble George R.R. Martin. By the time we get to the end of this, he won't have to be aged. He will look like George R.R. Martin. It's going to take forever to shoot this last season, which I'm really looking forward to. That's it. That's your lot. Take it or leave it.